Okay guys, we're back on the E46 with the M54 engine, and we're going to pull a valve cover. We're going to pull the windshield wiper cowl and the cabin air filter housing out. We're going to take this valve cover off, and we're going to make sure the head bolts are still tight, make sure everything's torqued good, and see if there's any water on the inside of the valve cover mixed with the oil. Okay guys, so you saw me take the valve cover bolts out. You saw me take the cowl off. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I did take the secondary air pump loose and put it off to the side. And then of course I took the windshield washer tank out just to get more clearance. Lifted it out. I don't see any signs of moisture in here. There's a little bit right here. That's usually from the vent hose. That's perfectly fine. Usually they're way worse than that. So let's go ahead and check the head bolts and see if they're tight. Okay, so there's a couple things first. We're going to end up at 65 foot-pounds. Here's a torque wrench. It's just a standard torque wrench. I don't know why it's all blurry looking in there. Yeah. We have to take a couple things in a factor here. Our socket for the head bolts is a 3/8. Our torque wrench is a 1/2 inch drive. So we got to have an adapter on this. That's going to take out some torque. We also have to have an extension. That's going to take out some torque also. So we're probably want to be in up around 75 foot-pounds to truly get 65 foot-pounds. But I got it set at 40. Let's just go and check a few of them to see what's going on here and see if it is loose or what. Yeah, it's like loose, but they're tightening up, and we might have to turn the engine over for this one to get the socket in there. But for right now, let's just go ahead and go around and see. Yep. And they're tightening up fine. So I'm not quite sure. I haven't had this problem before. It's like they always need to be tightened down a little further, but they're very loose. Went pretty hard on them the first time. I mean, probably maybe a little tighter than what they had to be. So I don't know. Maybe after it ran for a while, maybe it needs to be retorqued. Usually these don't have that problem, but we're gonna go ahead and do it and see where we end up here. Okay, so that's only at 40. So we know if we set the torque wrench on 40, it's probably 35, maybe a little bit less. And they were still turning quite a bit, all of them. Not sure what's going on with that. We're gonna go ahead and turn the wrench up. Let's go ahead and turn up to 60, run them again. As you guys saw, what I was doing up here, so I was taking this big crescent wrench, adjustable wrench, putting on the nuts right there, and turning those camshafts so I could access all the bolts. You could also take the cylinder head off by doing that without having to take the camshafts actually out of the head. Okay guys, so everything torqued down good. We put it at 65. 65 is pretty hard. You always want to make sure when you're torquing them to hold your hand against it. The last thing you want to do is pry crooked and break something off or mess the head up on the bolt. So you saw me a lot doing this when I was torquing it down and holding it straight so it doesn't want to kink over. So we're going to go ahead and put it back together. It's gonna get dark tonight before you get a chance to do it, so that'll be tomorrow's deal, and I'll let you guys know how it did. I tell you what, guys, I changed my mind on these cars. When you torque the head bolts, I just did the 530, just rechecked it just to make sure. And with the 6-inch extension, if you have the 3/8 a half-inch adapter, it seems like 55 is a lot safer. It seemed like 65 is running the ragged edge of stripping something out. So I want to say 55 should be good to go. A lot of you guys, if you have a little different setup, 65 actually might twist one out of there. We don't want that.